By the time the kid turns 65, that account will have $1.5 million in it without the kid doing anything. So there was a Bloomberg article, I read Bloomberg religiously, like a Bible, about people saving for their kids. So they may or may not have trust fund, and they decided that they would like their kids to have some sort of trust fund. The example given was an initial investment of $1,000 at birth and invest $1,000 every single year. By the time the kid turned 18, that account will have $41,000 in that account, 18. And assuming you do not invest any more money into this account and just let it compound, and granted they're using the NASDAQ example, which returns at 8% per year, as opposed to the FTSE example, which is 6% per year. By the time the kid turns 65, that account will have $1.5 million in it without the kid doing anything. You tell me about generational wealth. So if you are not fortunate enough to have generational wealth, and if you don't know what my definition of generational wealth is, please watch the other video. If you live in the UK, there are things that you can do to create generational wealth. And the secret weapon is Junior ISA. So I hope by now you know what ISA is, especially if you've been watching my channel, you know what ISA is, you know what SIP is, you know what company pension is, and you know how to use them to your advantage. You do need to understand a little bit of math, but it's not rocket science. Like, it's just adding things up and multiplying things. You can handle this with an iPhone calculator. Okay, Junior ISA. Let's assume you have a kid and you invest £9,000 as soon as the kid is born into his or her Junior ISA account. And let's say you're fortunate enough to be able to save £9,000 every single year, and you're going to deposit that into your kid's Junior ISA account, assuming a 6% return, assuming you're just going to invest it in the FTSE 100. By the time the kid turned 18, that account will have £316,945 in that account. Let's assume you're not going to put in any more money, you're just going to let that money roll at 6% per year. By the time the kid turns 65, he or she will have £5.2 million in that account. This is the kid not doing anything. And sure, you could argue that it is a bit of a generational wealth, because to save £9,000 for the kids, you need to be earning decent money. But yeah, let's just make it a more realistic example, something that I hope most of my viewers can achieve. Let's assume you're only going to invest £1,000 into this account. And I'm going to use the FTSE 100 example as opposed to the American example, which gives you a better result. Let's assume you're going to invest £1,000 into a Junior ISA as soon as your kid is born, and you're going to invest £100 every single month consistently until the kid turned 18. By the time the kid turned 18, he or she will have £41,672 in that account, in a Junior ISA account. And you leave it there, don't touch it, let it compound for the rest of the 47 years until the kid is 65. That account will have close to £700,000. Not bad. And of course, we hope that your kid is smart enough to save and invest and can easily have a net worth of more than £2 million by the time he or she turns 65. But hey, this is how you create generational wealth. So I hope this video will debunk some of this sense of just wanting to give up, which is so common in the UK. And I hope, because it's summer in the UK, I hope you're feeling a bit more cheerful and motivated. And generational wealth is not what you see online. It's not what you see on YouTube, where people just don't work and they can still afford to buy a Ferraris and Lamborghinis and that expensive apartments in Chelsea. Majority of the generational wealth is built slowly and quietly, and they don't talk about it, which is why you don't see it on YouTube. If you find this useful, click a like and a subscribe, and I'll see you next time.